Fantasy Blitz, it's your boy Elijah. Happy Thursday to those that celebrate. Yes, we will keep the tradition alive. Um, I feel like I'm always apologizing for my health, but yeah, my throat hurts a little bit, just a little bit. But that's okay. So if I sound a little raspy or interesting or disgusting, that is why. But we move. That's all we do. So for the discussion for today, we have the 5 teams in the NFL draft that absolutely need to make a banger pick. Okay, of course there are obvious teams that I do have on here, just a couple of them. But we will go into a little bit of detail as to why they need to make a good pick. So let's just start off with the number 1 overall pick, and that is the Tennessee Titans. And I think it's clear and obvious that it's got to be Cam Ward or a quarterback, but I do think Cam Ward's the clear choice. After a lot of the reports have come out, Cam Ward has come out to be the clear QB1 over Shedeur, and Jackson Dart has actually kind of risen a little bit more than a lot of people have expected, so him and Shedeur are really competing for the QB2. But the Titans definitely need a quarterback. I don't think they should go with Abdul Carter, even with the whole foot surgery or whatever is going on, the surgery that's going on with him, or the potential surgery. Even if he stayed healthy, though, I still don't think they would go with him, or they should go with him. So I think it should be Cam Ward because that offense really isn't that bad. They have a few really good wide receivers, including Calvin Ridley. Tony Pollard's a solid running back. I can't pronounce his last name, but the tight end, they're solid. They got a solid offense, and head coach Callahan, I think he can make it work. And Will Levis just did not do it enough. He didn't do it enough, and he really cost him some games. So, but if you look at it, he ended up helping them get the number 1 pick. So it's okay. The number 2 team that needs to have a really good pick is the Browns. Oddly enough, yes, they do have the number 2 overall pick, but it's because things are really falling apart. Where do you go with Deshaun Watson? Myles Garrett wants out. Nick Chubb can't stay healthy. So where do we go from here? I think that with the number 2 overall pick, you really just get the best available player, whether that's Travis Hunter. You could go with Shedeur and then maybe trade Deshaun Watson somewhere else. I personally wouldn't do that, though. But I just think best player available, whatever the front office thinks, just because that Myles Garrett trade can really help out, get some future assets, maybe even some current assets, because Myles Garrett is such a valuable player. So they need to make a good pick. I think it's just best player available at that point. And then for the Patriots, they need to make a good pick as well for Mike Vrabel and Drake May. Drake May looks pretty good, but can you name me their best offensive player that's not named Drake May? Is it Ramondre Stevenson? That's pretty sad in my opinion. So I think they should go with McMillan from Arizona at the 4th overall pick. It's kind of a tough decision, though, because after the first 3 picks, Patriots are in a weird position of best player available, or do they fit a need that they really do, or do they fit the need that they really need to fill? So they need to have a banger pick because I think if they make a good pick, that can change a lot of their direction for the future. For the Raiders, so the reason I have the Raiders on here is because, yeah, I know a lot of free agents would probably want to go play for Pete Carroll, but they don't have really any good skill players on offense. Yes, they did just extend Max Crosby on defense, but on offense, they don't really have a good quarterback. They don't really have a great running back or a great wide receiver. Jacoby Myers is a great player, but I don't think I would be as confident if he was my wide receiver 1 from here on out. So they just need to make a good pick here. I think any skill position player would go well. Maybe even Ashton Genty. He probably would go well with Pete Carroll, considering that he did coach Marshawn Lynch for some years or so. So the Raiders definitely need to make a solid pick here. At an offensive player, position player, skill player, that is. They can find some good players in free agency. I'm very confident in that with Pete Carroll's recruiting skills. And last but not least, of course, I had to put my Falcons in there, but it's truly crucial for them to take an edge rusher. And it's a little worrisome, not only because I'm a Falcons fan, but just because there has been a history of questionable picks. Yes, the Penix pick was great, but later on defensive player picks. So Jalen Walker is a little bit hurt for Georgia, so he's going to have to work out later on his pro day for the Dogs. But there are some other players, like the linebacker from Marshall. I believe his name is Mike Green. And then there's just Mikael Williams, another Georgia player out there. but I think it's got to be an edge player. Maybe like, I think his name's Shadur, or not Shadur, something Stewart. I can't remember, guys. I'm so sorry, but something Stewart from Texas A&M. He's very good. Yes, I do know that he's a great player, but I don't know his name. I'm blanking out. But they need to get an edge player because Matthew Judon's going to test free agency. Lorenzo Carter looks like he's going to walk as well, and also he just hasn't performing as well. So they need to get an edge rusher if they want to complete both sides of the of the team, because their offense looks great for the future, but the defense still got some questions in there. But yeah, so the Titans, Browns, Patriots, Raiders, and Falcons are all teams that really need to make a banger pick in this upcoming draft. Next week, we will be having our first mock draft, and I'm so excited. We will be going live for that, probably around 4:30 or so. Looks like this will probably be the setup for a little bit. I'm thinking about getting a mic, and I'm going to have to set up my laptop somehow. Or if I don't, then I'll just have to show you on my screen. Easy money. That's something we can figure out. But I really do appreciate you guys. See y'all next week. God bless, be kind, and peace.